In this section we have learned a lot. We always need to start, of course, with a trigger. In the first automation we started with an Airtable trigger. We simply connected the Airtable trigger with an LLM. And important is that we also connect our right API keys here. As soon as the API key is connected and our trigger gets executed, we need of course some prompts that make sense for the LLM. We need to have a text input, maybe a system prompt, and then everything should work. And basically after that we can connect our next nodes and our automation is basically ready. So you basically saw how we can send ourselves emails if Airtable gets updates. After that we took a closer look on the sentiment analysis. And also the sentiment analysis starts with a trigger node. Trigger node is an on-form submission. The on-form submission will come into the AI. The AI will make a sentiment analysis and we simply connect this with Google Sheets. And in Google Sheets is simply the name and if the person is happy or not. And if you want to have this via email, of course you can also make this automation. We have a lot of options. You also saw how to use a lot of different nodes and how to connect all of these things together. After that I showed you how you can use open source LLMs. The most important thing is that you install Ollama, that you find the right model for your purpose that works on your machine, and then you can simply connect it, but attention, you need to give the right URL to the server from Ollama. If you don't change these numbers, this will not work. And then you can use, for example, DeepSeek, a reasoner model, if you need really logical answers, or maybe a Llama model or something similar. And lastly, I showed you how you can connect every single API provider as an LLM. Basically, you can connect what you need. In most cases, OpenAI makes the most sense. If you need a fast model that is cheap, GPT-4o Mini is great. If you need a smarter model that has function calling, GPT-4 Omni is great. If you want to have a model that has function calling and that has reasoning, O3 Mini could be great. And if you want to have the biggest model that can reason but don't has function calling, O1 can be your friend. So yes, it seems a little bit confusing, but over time you will learn how to use these models. If you want to write something in a good writing style, also the Claude models could make sense. If you want to have fast models that are also relatively cheap, the Google models could make sense. If you want to have something that is extremely cheap and that's for free, just use Grok for example. And you can basically play around with all of this API provider, eventually also DeepSeek. But always a little bit attention, if you send your data to a Chinese model, like this can make some problems. Maybe we should be safer with the models from OpenAI, and if you want to run it 100% private, you need to use Ollama. So basically you have learned a lot in this section, and I want to tell you what learning is. Learning is same circumstances but different behavior. Maybe you did not know how you can include LLMs in your workflows until now. Now you know it, and you have only learned if you do. So please just copy one of my workflows, make your own workflow, or connect a different API and play with these things a little bit around. Only then you have learned. And I also want to tell you what good learners do. Of course, they learn together, because more people always know more than few people. And we can reach this if you would share this course. Maybe the other person gets value out from this course and they will describe the value to you because you have told them. So thank you for that, and I'll see you of course in the next section. The next section, at least in my mind, gets exciting because we start to make RAG chatbots so we can train these LLMs on our own knowledge, and we will make cool email automations. See you in the next one.